warm enough for ya. Outside, baby, yeah. Warm enough here for ya. Warm enough outside, inside, me.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today, as you can tell from the title of this video, I'll be giving you tips and tricks and plenty other informational things about the Running Start program. Or in different places, it's called different things. So maybe it's called dual enrollment where you're from. I don't really know, But dual enrollment, Running Start, I'm just here to give you some tips and tricks. Because when I first started going to Running Start, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. Well, actually, let me explain what it is first. So for those of you guys who are watching this and aren't completely sure what exactly it is, it's just an opportunity to earn high school credits and college credits at the same time. Entering people into Running Start, you have to be a junior. You can't do Running Start if you're a sophomore. It has to start your junior year. Junior year and senior year are the 2 years that you can do Running Start. And a 2-year degree is a associate's degree, so you would earn your associate's degree with an emphasis in engineering, communication, art, whatever you want it to be, or you can just get a general AA. For me personally, I'm emphasizing in communications, but basically Running Start is just a program for you to be able to get your college credits and your high school credits in a 2-year time span. I heard about Running Start from friends. I have a couple of friends that did Running Start when I was a sophomore, so I heard about it through them. And I thought, hey, why not? This would be a really good opportunity for me. But basically, the main reason why I decided to do this was because I wanted to shave off 2 years. So I would transfer, I'm going to still transfer to a 4-year university, but I'll only have to go there for 2 years in order to get my bachelor's. Basically, it shaves off 2 years for your bachelor's. Oh, I probably should also mention how you get into Running Start. You can't just walk into Running Start. There's steps you have to go through. So in order to get into Running Start, you have to take a compass test. I don't want to say it's easy because that's, for some people, they didn't pass. So I don't want to say, I passed on the first try, but it's kind of like a reading comprehension test. It's not something you can really study for. I feel like it's just the kind of thing you have to go in and you take it, and like if you don't pass it, you can take it I think about 3 more times. I could be wrong, but you have a limited amount of number of times you can take it, and then after that I think you have to pay for it to take it. But you go in, you take it. If you pass it, they give you a paper that tells you like, hey, this is the score you got, this is the class we recommend you take, and then you get a registration date, and during a little bit before classes start, like about 2 or 3 weeks before classes start, you have a registration date, and you go in and you meet with an advisor, you and a couple other like new Running Start students, and they tell you how to register for classes, and they give you more paperwork. They give you a lot of paperwork. Basically, they teach you how to register for classes. And you register for your classes for your first quarter, and then you get to walk around. They give you a little tour of the campus, and then you get to see, after the tour, you can go see where your classes are, the one that you registered for, and you can go see where your classes are. And that's basically how you get into Running Start. You have to take the compass test, and then once you pass it, you're good to go. Okay, so now that I've given you guys a little bit of a background of what Running Start is and why I'm in Running Start and how I found out about Running Start, now I'm going to go ahead and give you guys some tips that I have from Running Start. Okay, so my first tip I have is to always communicate with your professors from day 1 till the end of the quarter. Now, I know a lot of people say this, like your parents probably told you this, your high school teachers probably told you this, counselors, advisors, everyone tells you this, but this is literally a really big deal. Like, I highly stress to communicate with your professors, because even if you don't like your professors, it's a good way to gain a good relationship with them. Because when you get your end of the quarter grade and your grade is a 3.8 and you like, come on now, bump me up to a 4.0, they're not gonna do it because you didn't put in the effort to do it. But they're like, oh, well, Promise, she emailed me every day, and Promise, she talks to me all the time, and she's really nice and she's a good student. Then they're more likely to bump that grade up to a 4.0. They're more lenient for you because they know you, they're familiar with you, and they're friendly with you. And it also helps to gain a good relationship when you don't understand the material that you're going over in class. Like, it's just a good way to get a good relationship with your professor. My second tip is to make sure to stay in contact with your college advisors and your high school advisors. Now, with Running Start, it's really, really easy to get off track because there's a lot of classes that you have to take and like a lot of credits that you have to have. So you have to make sure that you're on the right track to success, because there will be a time towards the end of your Running Start journey that you'll have 1 quarter left, and you don't want to have to take 25 credits in that 1 quarter. So you want to make sure you space out your credits accordingly and to meet with your advisors regularly. Now, I do want to say, if you're watching this and you are doing Running Start and you're going to go to Highline Community College, Personally, the advisors there didn't help me out much with answering my questions. So, but they do give you good resources like degree audit and other like other like other tabs on the website that can help you keep track of your credits and to keep track of your classes. So I would highly recommend meeting with both high school and college advisors because those are two different credits you need. You need to have all of your high school credits and all of your college credits. My third tip would be to start off part-time. Now there's part-time Running Start students and then there's full-time. Part-time means that you're taking some Running Start classes, like some college classes and some high school classes. Full-time means you're just taking only college credits, like college classes, like you don't even go to high school. Personally, my first quarter at Highline, which is fall quarter of 2016, I did full-time. Now that was not a good idea because I ended up having to go back part-time second quarter to take PE. So, and you're also switching to a whole different group of people. So you want to make a slow transition. Like you still have some high school friends and you're like, oh, I have to go here towards the end of the day. Like I really regret, that's like one of my biggest regrets was starting off the quarter with full-time. For my fourth tip, I have to not stress out too much because it is overwhelming. It is a lot of work and it is kind of, overwhelming. Yeah, that's stressful. So I would just say to make sure you plan everything out. One thing I find the most helpful about these classes is that a lot of the classes give out syllabus or syllabi, whatever, and they have schedules in them. Most teachers have schedules and they tell you what you're going to have to do for the entire quarter. Like every single teacher I've had pretty much has told you from day one, the first day of class, they say this is what you're going to do week 2, week 3, week 4. They tell you the topic, when tests are, when assignments are due. And I think if you keep track of that plus all of your other classes, it's easier to maintain. If you plan out your weeks like week by week, like every Sunday before I start my week, I have a plan of what I'm going to do every single day for that week because most classes are predictable. You know what assignments are going to be on which day because like, you know, like it's like a discussion question on Wednesday, a test on Friday, and then some other random assignment. You know, like it's the same thing every week pretty much, just a different topic. So to keep yourself stress-free, I would highly recommend getting a planner and to plan out each week every Saturday or Sunday. For tip number 5, take summer classes. Take summer classes. They are not going to tell you this. They did not. When I first signed up for Running Start, they did not tell me this. You have to take summer classes, at least 2. When you take your first set of Running Start classes, your junior year, that following summer, you have to take at least 2 classes or you're not going to graduate. You have to take 2 classes or you're not going to graduate with Highline. Like you're not going to be able to graduate by spring of whatever year you're going to graduate. You'll have to take summer classes after that. So but in between those 2 years of you doing Running Start, in that summer that is in between, you need to take two classes. I was not going to do it at first. And I'm so glad that I did because next quarter I'm only taking 2 classes and that's my last quarter. Bless up, you know. So yes, take 2 classes during the summer and you should be Gucci. Like you should be really good for your last roundabout of Running Start classes. You should be good, but you have to take 2 summer classes. I know it sucks, but just plan for your easiest class. Like, you know, there's a PE class or like I did 2 online classes. You know, like Philosophy 101, Communications 101, like just take simple classes during the summer. Like save those for your summer classes and do your hardest classes during the school year. 2 summer classes. If you didn't hear it from nobody else, you heard it from me. You have to take two summer classes. For my 6th tip, keep all of your paperwork organized. When you first start Running Start, they're going to start throwing paperwork at you. Like it's just paperwork, like all the like deadlines and how many credits you need and like transferable classes because some classes don't transfer to high school. So you have to make sure you take the right classes. So all that paperwork, you need to like designate a notebook and a folder to keep all those things organized because I lost so many papers and I actually took a class that now I have to retake a different class because that class does not transfer over to high school. So you need to make sure you keep with your paperwork. I have a folder and a notebook. And in my notebook, I write down all my classes I need to take, how many more credits I need. And then in your folder, you keep all your paperwork. So I would highly recommend getting a notebook and a folder to keep, like to organize all of your paperwork for a Running Start. Tip number 7, treat yourself, okay? I didn't realize I needed to do this until the quarter that just passed because the quarters move by so quickly. The quarters are like primarily about 10 weeks long, right? So you do fall quarter, and fall quarter is from like the end of September till December. Then you have a break, and then you start again at the end of January, and you go into March, and then it's from the beginning of April into June. That's how the quarters go, right? So when I first finished my sophomore year, and you can look at how many classes you took, I'm like, dang, I took a lot of classes. So you get so stressed out and so overwhelmed that you don't even get a chance to reward yourself. Like, you just got done taking max 15 credits, like 15 college credits, and you passed and you did a great job. You have to reward yourself in order to keep yourself pushing, because it's a lot. It feels like a lot when you take 15 credits from September to December, and then another 15 credits from January to March, and then another 15 credits from April to June. It's just really overwhelming. So you have to make sure you take a break and breathe and reward yourself, because you just got a lot of stuff done. So I think a lot of people forget to boost themselves up. So make sure you boost yourself up. Now, these are my tricks. These are some of my tricks that I use throughout Running Start. My first trick was to use Rate My Professor. If you guys don't know, it's an app, and actually you can look on it. It's like, you can Google it too. It's like a website. And if you are looking at your classes, when you start registering for classes, you can type your professor's name in, and there's people who have taken that professor's class, and they've gave ratings, and like, it's out of a 5-star rating, so they can have a 5.0 or lower. And when I tell you, that is so accurate. Like, it helped me so much. Like, I've never had to withdraw from a class because I didn't like a teacher, because it's just like, you already expected it because you already read it on the app. So I would highly recommend getting the app and looking at your professors before you take the class, because if you take the class and you try to withdraw after the withdrawal period, it's going to show up on your transcript, and it looks really bad to colleges. So I would get the app. Get the app. My second trick was to make friends in my class. Like, okay, maybe not friends, acquaintances, because you don't have to actually like them, okay? You don't have to actually like them. It's just to help you get through the quarter. Like I said earlier, the quarter is about 10 weeks long, so you just gotta be their friend for 10 weeks, okay? And it helps so much. Like, when you don't know if you missed a day of class, if you didn't understand an assignment, or you just need a little bit of help with some stuff, it always helps to have a group chat with people that you know in your class. Make at least 2 or 3 friends that you're cool with, and y'all can just socialize and just get things done together, and it really helps the quarter fly by, and it makes the class 10 times easier when you have people that you know. Well, people that you are familiar with in the class too. Also, take classes with people you know. If you are coming from if you're going to Running Start with someone you know from your high school, you guys should take classes together, because it really helps to familiarize yourself with the campus and the teachers and the schedule with someone that you know, especially your first quarter. My third trick, I guess, is to have fun, okay? Because I know it gets stressful. It gets stressful, okay? I'm telling you right now. So you have to have fun with it, especially because especially senior year, I know for me it's been kind of hard, because you're not with your high school group all the time. They're going to school at high school from like 7 in the morning to like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. You might have class from 9 to 12 and you're done, right? So you don't get to see your high school friends as often, right? So you become a little bit distant over time. Like, you like unconsciously separate yourself from those friends because you don't see them as often. So in order to make Running Start fun for you, you have to join clubs or go to college events, or like I said earlier, make friends with people that are in the class. Like, you have to mingle a little bit. Now, for some cons, because Running Start does have cons, like the very first con I wanted to mention was their graduation rate. I can't remember the exact number. But it's really low. Their graduation rate super duper low for Running Start students, because the main reason why I think that it's low is because teachers do not recommend attendance. Most teachers do not. They don't make you come to class. Now, there's 2 sides of the spectrum. There's the classes that say you have to come to class, or if you don't come to class, your grade's gonna go down. There's those classes, right? Then there's another group of classes that are like, you don't have to show up. If you don't want to come, don't come, right? But those classes that say if you don't want to come, don't come, you still need to go. Because if you miss one, the quarter tries to teach you a whole school year of information in 10 weeks. So if you miss one day, that's like missing a week of class. So you have to go to school on that one day. Like, I highly recommend not missing class unless it's one of those classes where, like, if I miss it and I email the teacher, she got me, that kind of thing, then that's okay. But if it's not super duper important, you should not miss class, because you're going to miss a lot of information. And that's one thing I think is a con, because most teenagers, if you tell me I gotta come to class, I'm not gonna come to class. Like, that's just how most of us think. Like, my first couple courses, I'm like, but if I don't show up, I'm not gonna get in trouble, so should I really go? You should still go. Like, I would do not start skipping class. Once you start, it's hard to stop. So always go to class, because you're gonna regret not going. Also, like I said earlier, I mentioned how advisors don't really help that much. You have to ask specific questions. If you don't ask specific questions, they're not going to give you specific answers. Does this class transfer to this class? Like, is this class going to help me graduate? Do I really need to take this class? You have to ask specific questions, or they're not going to help you out. Like, you have to want to graduate as much. Like, if you don't want to graduate, they don't care. Like, they're not going to boost you up to graduate. In high school, you have to graduate. Like, they have to make sure you graduate in high school. But in college, they don't care. You have to advocate for yourself in order to graduate and to get all the credits you need. So when you go and talk to, especially your college advisor, when you go talk to your college advisor, because they're going to give you a designated advisor. When you go talk to your advisor, you have to come to the meeting with your questions already done. Like, you have to already have your questions written out. Like, this is what I'm going to ask them. This is my follow-up question, because they're not going to guide the conversation for you. They're just going to wait for you to say what you need, because they're not really good with that kind of stuff. So that's another con I have. And then with teachers too. Teachers, like, I know in high school they always say, oh, when you get in college, your teachers ain't gonna care no more. They right. They're not gonna care. They really don't. Like, if you care, then they care. But if you don't, then they don't. So you have to make sure you are advocating for yourself. And I think that's a key part in why their graduation rate is so low, because a lot of people just stop coming because they don't have to come. So, okay, so I already gave some cons. So let me give some pros of Running Start. Why you watching this video should do Running Start if you're not past age, if you're not already graduated or whatever. Well, first, the biggest benefit, obviously, is that you get your AA and your high school diploma at the same time. You get both from just 2 years of working. So that's probably the biggest benefit for me. I cannot wait to walk twice. Like, that's just, and it's amazing, and it's paid for already. Like, your school pays for it already, except for like other class, like smaller class fees. And your summer classes are not paid for by your school, by the way. I forgot to mention that. If you take summer classes, your high school doesn't pay for it. So you have to pay for those yourself. But if you want your AA, you have to take summer classes. So let me not hop back on that subject, because I already stressed it enough. But basically, yeah, that's like probably the biggest pro, obviously that. Second pro is you get to dance around a little bit. If you don't know what you want to major in, if you don't know what career you want to be in, or what career path you want to take, doing college that early helps you like navigate to where you want to go. Like, it helps you figure out, oh, I took communication 101. I don't really like communication, so I'm not going to do it. Or, oh, I took that physics class. That's not for me. Like, you can kind of figure out what you like, Or I took philosophy. Oh my God, philosophy was so dope. I'm going to take philosophy again. So just, you can figure out what you like and what you don't like before you get thrown into university. And then it's kind of a little bit, you have to move a little bit quicker, I feel like. It's a good way to get your toes wet, put your toe in the water, figure out if you like it or not. Oh, another one of my pros that I liked, another one of the pros that I had was, the network of friends that you make, because a lot of people that you're in classes with, you're going to be in classes. I think the oldest person I had in my class was like 60. I mean, it's not that old, but like for me, because I'm usually in class with 17, 18-year-olds. So you're in class with people that have kids, people that have jobs. Like, it's a commute kind of school. So you get to make a broad amount of friends. Like, my school is very diverse. So I get to meet like people of different races, genders, sexual identities. Like, it's great. Like, I like how diverse it is. You get to make a big group of friends, or like a very diverse amount of friends. Oh, another pro is that you get to choose your own classes. I mean, come on now. Like, you can, obviously you have a strict list of like what classes you have to take, but you get to choose when you take them, right? So that's a pro for me. Like, I don't have to go to class. My first class is at 9 o'clock. So like, and you can choose what time you start class and what time you end class. Like, you can have a long day or short. Like, this quarter I chose to not take classes on Friday. I don't have no class on Friday. And let me tell y'all, it's the best thing ever, okay? Yeah, that's one of the pros. You get to choose your own times of class, like whatever fits your schedule best. Like, whatever works around your work schedule, that it works. Like, you can just figure it out however you want to figure it out. So yeah, that's it for this video, guys. I hope you learned a lot about Running Start. And if you're thinking about joining Running Start or applying for Running Start, I I really hope you do, because it's a really good experience and I'm so glad that I did it. Everyone that I talked to that goes to Highline that is not in Running Start, they always say they wish they had did it. So if you are watching this right now and you are 15 or younger and you plan on doing Running Start, you should push through and you should do it. If you have any questions about Running Start or how it works or any more tips, tricks, or anything like that, please let me know. I'll be happy to answer your questions. All of my seniors watching, class of 2018, we in here, we about to graduate, and okay, we made it. It's been a rough year, but we made it. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.